Almost done.
Whatever you are planning, it will fail.
Hello, I'm your host Stephanie Williams, and welcome to Prime Video Episode Breakdowns, where I'll be breaking down weekly episodes of our favorite series on Prime Video so you can keep up with what's happening in the new season. Today we're recapping Season 2, Episode 6 of Invincible, It's Not That Simple. Before we jump into everything that happens in Episode 6, here's what happened in Episode 5. We caught up with Invincible, who eventually left Thraxa and returned to Earth with his younger half-brother. Donald finally got answers from Cecil regarding what happened to him. The Guardians, along with Invincible, went out into space to intercept a spaceship full of Sequids from Mars. And lastly, Rexplode was left in charge of the Guardians who remained on Earth. If you want a more detailed refresher, you can check out our previous breakdown video for Episode 5, and also our video highlighting key moments from the first half of Season 2. There's a link in the video's description. Now, without further ado, our recap of Season 2, Episode 6, It's Not That Simple. Episode 6 opens with a bang, pun intended. Rexplode is shot in the back of the head by the leader of the Lizard League. We then catch up with Invincible and the rest of the Guardians who are trying their best to fight the Sequids. Rudy finally finishes making mechanical alterations on a device that can be used to remove the Sequids from their human hosts. Invincible, with the help of Immortal, manages to activate the device close enough to their human host, which breaks the hive mind connection of the rest of the Sequids on the ship. However, it's too late for Adam, Eve, and Rudy, who are now being controlled by Sequids. Invincible and Immortal work together again to activate the device, which finally frees Eve and Rudy. Back on Earth, the leader of the Lizard League celebrates his win over the defeated Guardians, but Rexplode regains consciousness and defeats him. Rex is then found by GDA agents who quickly get him medical help after he passes out from his injuries. Shrinking Ray is also found and taken in for medical care. The Guardians, along with the Sequid-free astronaut, make their escape from attacking Martians. Invincible takes care of those Martians by destroying their ships. When Invincible returns to the ship with the Guardians, he and Adam Eve have an awkward moment. Meanwhile, Immortal seems to be opening up to trusting Invincible. We return to Earth again, this time catching up with Debbie and Mark's half-brother. Cecil is there too, trying to convince Debbie to let him and the GDA help her take care of Mark's half-brother, who has grown attached to Debbie and vice versa. Debbie refuses Cecil's help and he reluctantly leaves. When Invincible and the Guardians who went to space return, they are greeted with tragic news. Duplicate was killed during her encounter with the Lizard League, Shrinking Ray is in intensive care, and Rexplode is in the middle of surgery. Invincible visits Debbie and his half-brother, who Debbie has finally named Oliver, after Mark's grandfather. The Guardians attend Duplicate's funeral. Immortal gives a heartfelt eulogy for her and has a moment of vulnerability with Black Samson. Amber and Mark catch up over coffee. During this conversation, they admit feeling like they haven't spent as much time together since graduating high school and feel like they're missing out on the experiences they thought they would have together. When Mark returns to the dorm room he shares with William, he discovers Donald is there and that Rick is back. Rick is William's boyfriend who was kidnapped and turned into a reaniman by D.A. Sinclair. Mark notices something is off about Donald, but doesn't press the issue. Mark then visits Rex at the GDA. Rex is out of surgery and is having a moment of reflection where he mentions the remorse he feels for the way he's treated women in his life like Kate and Eve. Debbie is busy interviewing possible caretakers for Oliver, one of whom was sent by Cecil, which she quickly susses out, telling the woman thanks but no thanks. The next woman, April, is also someone affiliated with the GDA, but unlike the other woman, she's upfront about it. She says she is there for Debbie and not as someone to carry out what Cecil wants. This appeals to Debbie and she ends up hiring her. Eve returns to her place in the woods where Cecil is waiting to offer her a spot on the Guardians team. However, Eve declines, but tells him she is available to help whenever they need it. As soon as he leaves, Amber arrives to talk to Eve about her relationship with Mark. At the same time, Mark shows up at Art's place to talk to him about Amber. Art and Eve tell them to go spend time with each other instead of talking to them. Before Mark leaves, Art gives Mark the books Omni-Man once gave him as a tip instead of money. They are the same books Omni-Man wanted Mark to read. Later, while William and Rick are walking around campus, Rick talks about how he sees flashes of the trauma he experienced at the hands of D.A. Sinclair. He shares that he can't fully remember who he is, and William tells him they'll get through this together. Mark gets back to his dorm with the books he received from Art and begins reading through them. He appears to make some kind of connection about them. Cecil pays Immortal a visit, asking him to go on vacation as he feels Immortal needs some time away to process Kate's death. Immortal refuses and says he's fine. Alerts come in from a possible threat headed towards Earth, and Immortal leaves abruptly. The so-called threat ends up being Alan the alien, who was there to find Invincible. Immortal and Alan fight before Invincible shows up, who tells Immortal that Alan is no threat. When Alan and Invincible get back to his dorm, Alan informs him of Thetis' true identity. Alan wants Mark to go back with him to talk to Thetis, but Mark declines because he wants to work on things with Amber. Mark then shares what he learned from Omni-Man's books. Alan confirms Mark's theory, which is that everything his dad wrote in the books is true. He also thinks that it's all information that could hurt and possibly defeat the Viltrumites. We finally see where Omni-Man is being held captive somewhere in deep space. General Krieg offers him a chance to come back to the Viltrum Empire, which Omni-Man declines. The astronaut saved by the Guardians throws up a Sequit and is instantly taken over yet again by the parasite. Angstrom Levy finally makes his return at the end of the episode, walking through portals to various realities before finally ending up in the main universe. And there you have it, everything that happened during Season 2, Episode 6. Thank you so much for watching this installment of Prime Video episode breakdowns. We'll be back soon to recap Episode 7. Don't forget to watch new weekly episodes of Invincible Season 2 on Thursdays only on Prime Video. Once again, my name is Stephanie Williams, and thank you for watching.